Hello and welcome to InnoGrid TV in association with Engerati. Jan Magne Strand joins us now, Senior Advisor at Elhub. Thank you for joining us, Jan. I think we're going to talk about data hubs in this conversation, and I think perhaps an explanation of what Elhub is would be a perfect way to begin.
Yeah, we can start with that. The core functions are, of course, being able to store all meter data in Norway, and that's everything, including exchanges, its production and consumption, and that's around 3 million metering points in Norway. Most of them now starting to be remotely read and hourly by smart meters, and that one will be rolled out at least as planned to end 18. Then we will have 3 million smart meters in Norway. And to be able to manage that one, and that's the reason, one of the reasons behind the data hub, to have technology to really move around this kind of information, because the DSO will, by regulation, be responsible for collecting that one, validate it, and send it to Elhub just 7 hours after the day is over, so it's very quick. And we have 2 hours to calculate and send it out to the market. So that's one important part of it, and to get up to speed to this one. Other one is the orchestration of market processes, like switching, moving in, moving out, updating meter information, etc. So all these are orchestrated by the data hub. Means that we know who owns the data, who is the supplier, and where it is. And we also have that over time, so we are obliged to have that information for 3 years. So if you move in and out of a flat, we know when and who's had relation with whom. So if there are any questions about corrections, we know the corrections and can do reconciliation of that one. And that's part of the regulation, that we have to have that data for at least 3 years to be able to give the end user the protection of errors in the chain of measurements. And the last one is, of course, when you have all this data, instead of having all the DSOs calculating the balance in the market, that's now centralized to the data hub. So the data hub do the national balance, including calculating the grid loss, and sending all this to a Nordic settlement system for settlement, imbalance settlement. So it's a 3-stage rocket, if you want to say that like that.
Well, we know from our experience in the UK with the DCC that it's not an easy feat to create a data hub. And I know you've been involved in the project since its conception. I mean, it's still at project stage, isn't it, at this point? I mean, how do you go about choosing the right model for your country and laying the foundations to create something like this?
We have a model, of course, when we started, and it was not to change it too much, but it was very clear from the regulator that the TSO had to work together with the industry and agree refreshment of the processes, align deadlines, and be more consistent and harmonized in the way we both communicate and also how these processes works. So that, I feel, was a success, that we be working together with the industry. Means that because the industry has to use it when it goes into production, so they know how this works now. So we changed the way of, for example, switching. Was like a range of 30 days to 40 days to a year. We decided to say, well, okay, if it's remotely read, you have 1 to 3 days, and then you can proceed with the process, etc. So that was a good thing to do together with the industry, because then they got a commitment to it. But the regulation had to change. There was a lot of old, not usable for hubs, because it was a many-to-many communication, and having a central hub meant to at least delete even 6 old regulations, as an example.
Okay.
But model in itself is not changed that much It's more that when you have a central hub, you always have to have processes to correct information. Before it was like easy to call the local database operator and say, well, can you please delete the data because I did something wrong? You can't do that anymore. You have to send this information to the data hub so we can correct the information. So that's new for the market. So you have to think business to business, and you can't have too many human intervention or correction. So you have to build processes to support all these corrections, rollbacks, etc. So that was new for the market and has to be built and understood by the market players.
So I suppose Norway, like every country, has a mix of terrains and people living in different environments. So the communication technology, how did you trial and find the best one?
Yeah.
Best mix?
It is a mix, but it's mostly based on standards. We quickly lean to EBIX, of course, which is a standard for the end user market. But we have to move away from the more EDIFACT standard and more into web services and XML, and also increase the security drastically, including encrypting data. We have to build in privacy, so-called very flashy privacy by design. So you have to build it in your solution, the whole thing. But now it's more like normal standard communication we see in the market today, and not special for the electricity market. So it's easier for third parties or there's app producers or developers to really develop good services for end user market.
So that's an intention, is it, to open up the aggregated data for those?
It was very clear from the regulator that innovation is very important for them. So not locking that out, but really think through and be open for innovation. Means that Elhub should not be innovation itself or innovated himself, but at least put together technology and standard technology for the market to be innovated or innovate services. So I think we at least managed halfway. It will always be some requirement for more and better and quicker, but that will at least been an important requirement when we go live, that third party and even end users have the possibility to download the app, get a good connection, secured, and also get information directly through the application. We will not make these applications, but we will do the technology behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the clever thing, isn't it? Working with partners to create those services. Yeah. When are you expecting it to go live?
We are in the process of testing it out. So we have told the market that we will, first of all, be sure that we have the good enough quality to put a date, but it will be during next year. We have not put a date in front of the market yet because we have recently delayed the startup. So, but during September this year, we will go out officially and put a date on the market. And it's very important for the market to have very clear date we will reach and no more delays or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you've obviously, you've been through this whole process. So if we had viewers watching who are beginning the process of creating a data hub, what would be your best piece of advice to them?
Get information from others who has done it before. Get all the knowledge into your organization. Ask questions. Have meetings. Because I think this is not something you buy from the shelf. And it's not an IT project in itself. It's a change project. And it's more than just an IT. So it means that you have to select the right vendor, you have to cooperate, etc. So there's a lot of other things. It's a program, it's not a small project. So contact the Danish, the Belgium, you have Ontario. We are open for visitors and we will share.
Okay, thank you, Jan. We look forward to seeing Elhub come online.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. That's it from InnoGrid TV for now, in association with Engerati. Thanks for watching.